Well, if it isn't Mei and her boy toy, Mayuri says weakly, seeing Mei and Naruto slide open the door with IVs in her right arm. Naruto raises an eyebrow with a mock offense lighting up his features. Boy toy. I've been upgraded, he says, and Mayuri's laughter, though weaker than before, fills the room. Sensei, please don't encourage him, Mei says, moving to sit next to her bed. Naruto moves towards the window to look out it as student and teacher talk. Why not wait to return to Fire Country? See more of the world. You've been fighting for the last few years. Why not see a world not embroiled in war before stepping into another one? Makoto says. And Mayuri reaches out a frail hand for Mei to take gently. I'm glad to have seen you both grow. You too have grown into powerful ninja. But don't stop, Mayuri says. And Mei nods, sniffling. I reluctantly agree with the accursed Uchiha. Experience life for once. Your mate is about to lose her sensei. Treat her to a normal life, Inari says, gruffly. Naruto tunes back as the steady beep transforms into a continuous tone as Mei squeezes Mayuri's hand, hot tears rolling freely down her cheeks. Naruto moves to cover the door with a stoic look on his face as he moves to grasp Mei's shoulder to squeezes it gently. She's ready, Mei whispers and rises to feet with Naruto pulling her into comforting hug as Mei begins crying once more. Arise, Naruto says, as her sobs echo in his chest. A shadow bursts from Mayuri's body as her shadow variant rises dressed in old uniform. I promised her we'd kill. Raiga Mei says, looking over his back to see Mayuri standing with a smirk on her face. Naruto rubs circles in her back with a nod. Don't worry. Raiga will pay for his crimes, he says, a cold promise made. Speaking. Summon. Bijou. Shadow soldier. Pause. Long pause. Yanghanan. Disclaimer. I own nothing. Chappie 2. Land of Lightning. Naruto sighs as he has his no-name sword in hand with Mei sitting on a rock. You finally have a name for it, she asks, eating some dango. The blonde nods as he swings several times with Reitan, surging through it to make a whip-like strike and crackle of thunder, yeah. Zabamaru, he says. It's been 2 months since they left Water Country, and we're now in Lightning Country, making their way to Kumogakure, but also explore. Zabamaru. I don't think he'll like it, Mei says, giggling a little. I don't, Zabuza says, from Naruto's shadow. It's close though, Isobu comments. Naruto sends Zabamaru into his inventory, and the pair continue their trek towards Kumogakure. The country of lightning has vast mountain ranges that has many thunderstorms and many rivers as well heading for the sea. They stay in few hot spring hotels and see beautiful scenery as well, but soon encounter a group of Kumo ninja on the road, or one Jonin, with 1 Chunin and 2 ninja in training. She's a Jinchuriki, Inari says. The Jonin is a young woman that has long blonde hair bound with taut bandages, dark blue eyes, and red lipstick. She wears a short-sleeve black and purple blouse with black pants, both having a design similar to clouds on them, purple fingerless gloves, and a chain of blue beads wound around her left hand. A Kumo hitayate on her forehead, a kunai holster strapped to her right thigh, bandages around her arms and legs as well as a red belt around her waist.
Who are you? Are you Shinobi? The Chunin asks. She has blue eyes and straight, shoulder-length blonde hair cut in an asymmetrical bob style. She wears a very low-cut outfit with mesh armor underneath, a short skirt and red hand guards, high boots and a modified Kumogakure flak jacket covering her stomach like a girdle.
No. We're traveling mercenaries of sorts, Naruto says, rubbing the back of his head. I'm Mei Chirumi and this, my boyfriend Naruto, Mei says, smiling to ease the forming tension. Your story is a bit thin. What brings you all the way to the Lightning Country? The second Kunoichi says, crossed her arms with her expression one of slight agitation. She has dark skin with long, spiky red hair, and amber eyes having two simple yellow earrings. She wears a long, short-sleeved dress with frilly edges complete with fishnet stockings, thigh-high boots having white soles. The fourth of the group begins to go on long tangent, you know. This situation reminds me of a story I once heard. There was this group of travelers, very much like us, who ended up being key figures in an unexpected turn of events leading to the resolution of a century-old dispute between two nations. Now, I'm not saying we're part of any story, but if we were, imagine the implications. Perhaps encountering each other here. At this very moment is a pivotal point in our collective narratives, he says. Shut up, Omwai, Karui shouts, slapping him in the hip. He is a dark-skinned young man with short, spiky, white hair and dark eyes accentuated with eyelashes curving upwards from the corners. He wears a dark outfit consisting of an overlong shirt with a hood and cargo pants. Are you all ninja? Mei asks. We're from Kumogakure, Yugito replies, and has her dark eyes on Naruto. He's strong, kitten. Keep the hothead from pissing him off, a voice says in Yugito's head. We lost someone important to us, so we're on a journey of hope and healing. We heading to Kumogakure to see on the great ninja villages to see its rich history and experience it firsthand, Mei says. We can escort you for a fee, Karui says, smirking. Karui, you and Omwai are not ninja yet. We can accompany them as we're on our way back, Yugito says and looks to the pair. I'm Yugito Nesadi and this is Chunin Samui. They are Karui and Omwai, she adds. Nice to meet you and let's get along, Mei says, bowing. The two groups make the week-long journey to Kumogakure, which is located in a range of tall mountains and is literally hidden in the clouds. Naruto learns the four Kumo residents have various personalities, with Yugito being a courageous, proud, and wise kunoichi. Samui is mature, calm, and generally silent compared to the combative, outspoken, stubborn, and impulsive Karui, or the overly critical thinking Omoi. He also knows this is the same village who tried to kidnap his mother when she was young. This is Kumogakure, Yugito says, as the main gate of the village. Naruto and Mei hand over papers, with his last name being Yushugi to keep himself a secret from Konoha. A thing Naruto immediately notices, as unlike Konoha, which could be 70% civilian and 30% ninja, the opposite could be said for Kumo, with 70-30 in the ninja's favor. The two groups part as Naruto and Mei find a hotel to stay in, finding one, but it costs double compared to most hotels outside the village. Can we head to Iwagakure and get some jutsu for me? Mei says, unsealing her things. We can. Iwo deals in the lava release, Naruto says, unsealing his things as well. The pair take a tour of the village and it confirms that there are more ninja than civilians, before finding a restaurant selling some very delicious food. Mei has some seafood and the blonde has a steak, but notices again things were expensive. Is it because of the distance? Mei says, as they were leaving the restaurant. Maybe. We are in the mountains, Naruto says. They continue to explore some and Mei drags him to the shopping district for some new clothes. He buys a graphic long-sleeve shirt, in a black color, with sleeves have bionic designs on them. A pair of hybrid ninja cargo pants with adjustable straps and tight ankles. He finds a hoodie with lightning storm graphic on, and Mei would steal it from him once they were back at their hotel. Don't get caught, Mei says, winking. I won't, Naruto says, making a clone in case someone shows up. He uses stealth and slips out the hotel room from balcony to make his way towards the tallest tower of the village and has the kanji for lightning on the front. Patrols were very prevalent as Naruto moves through the village. Kumo is very militarized, he thought. He reaches the tower and manages to slip inside due to someone entering the tower. He searches for the jutsu library and soon finds it, searching through the library, and finds some jutsu, but a few were some he's seen already. He writes down electromagnetic murder and thunderbolt, but the rest utilize the lightning armor and are taijutsu-based, co-op-based, or sword-based jutsu, but also some lava-based jutsu. Rubber, Naruto thought. I don't think Mei will like these Makoto comments, writing them down just in case. He thought of checking the Raikage's office but decides against it and slips out the tower behind someone. Luckily, he heads back to their hotel room and slips back inside. Mission successful, Mei asks, laying on the bed. I found a little, but it's more suited for certain people. I did find some Yuton Jutsu, but they are rubber-based, Naruto says, and Mei wrinkles her nose. I guess it's Iwa next, he adds. The young couple would remain in Kumo for about a month but would soon find their patience and resolve tested not just by the foreign environment. It would be the interactions with Karui and Omoi, the former antagonizing them several times and leading to them a friendly spar. This is so not cool. They are guests here. There's no need to constantly provoke a fight, Samui comments, standing between Naruto and Karui. It will be fine, Samui. I just want to see what he's made of. Besides, it's just a friendly spar, Karui says, tossing Naruto a wooden sword. Naruto has a lazy grip on his sword with an almost disinterested look on his face, but could hear Omoi going on a long tangent about him being the secret son of the Yondaime Hokage to Mei. That is scary accurate, Makoto says. I agree. If you go Earth Country and Iwa, you better dye your hair, Zabuza says. Samui calls a beginning to the spar, and Karui wastes no time to close the gap with a two-handed thrust. But Naruto parries her strike, into a spin on his heels for a strike to back of her head. Karui quickly avoids it by ducking under the strike and scampering back, but Naruto forces her to quick block a series of quick strikes. Naruto has to avoid using any Uzumaki techniques or any taught to him by Zabuza, Amayuri, and Makoto. Karui goes for a single quick and powerful cutting motion, but Naruto avoids it, even countering a feint by using Kawarimi to distract him and lateral sword slash. He's good. He avoided both the Kumo-rai, Damashigiri, and Kumori Omotajiri. He has to be trained, but from where Samui thought, seeing Naruto switch hands to counter Karui and strike her in a few spots. That's enough, Samui says firmly, signaling the end of the spar. I'm not finished, Karui shouts, panting heavily. Yes, you are, Samui says, and Karui shoots the blonde a dirty look. Her glare at Naruto speaks volumes. She is clearly not pleased with the outcome, her pride wounded by the defeat by some blonde unknown merc. Naruto hands Samui the wooden sword as Mei smiles at him. Thanks for the spar, he says. You have a unique strength. How about joining Kumogakure? I can assure you a high rank, Samui says, her gaze fixed on Naruto. And I'll say again, I'll have to decline. I want to see the world and I can't be tied to a country's ninja corp, Naruto says, answering with a respectful tone. Karui is still silently fuming and couldn't help but interjects. You're turning down Kumo? Do you even realize how big of an opportunity you're skipping? She says.
Maybe, but I think there's a lot I can learn on my own. Meeting new people and facing different challenges, Naruto says, but Karui rolls her eyes, scoffing loudly.
Shame. Maybe we'll see each again, Samui says, extending her hand and shaking his hand. Maybe, Naruto says, with a small wave to Karui and Omoi. But she flips him off. Naruto and Mei head back to their hotel to check out, and leave Kumo that day for Earth Country. They travel south out of Lightning, and pass through the Land of Frost, stopping in Shimagakure, but find nothing of note except a white harlequin-like mask. It has black painted lips, a pink star over the left eye, its eyes are blacked out, and purple crescent moon on the right cheek. Naruto buys the mask at Mei's urging to keep up his phantom motif. Their next port of call is the Land of Hot Water, and the country is one of pacifism with Yugakure ninja, mainly protecting the tourism trade, with towns being few and far in between. But it is the next country where trouble comes calling. I'll ask one more time. Who is this master you serve? Naruto says, firm, leaving no room for evasion. His Uzumaki repeating rifle pointed directly at the chest of a missing nin, the tension palpable in the air as Mei is a safe distance away with Senbon in her hands. He and Mei were currently in the land of rice paddies, or so they thought, as several missing nin call this the land of sound. You have no idea what powers you're meddling with. Why should I talk to ones who will serve? The missing nin starts, but Naruto blows his head off and raises him as Shadow Soldier, along with a dozen others. This master must be powerful to control so many. Mai comments, her gaze not leaving the missing nin's body. I have to agree, Naruto says, having the soldiers bury their bodies in a mass grave. The pair head for the small town that hired them to deal with these missing nin, but the village head's son meets them at the town's edge, and a few others were with him carrying weapons. What's going on? Mai says. It was wrong to hire outsiders. My father will bring his wrath upon and he will kill us, the young man says, his voice trembling and betraying the facade of determination he tries to uphold. He who, Naruto says, luckily having his mask on and Mai her hood up. We do not say his name. Now leave, the young man says, his gaze lowering to the ground. We'll leave, but don't send. He who is not to be named after us or I'll come back, Naruto says, using a little bloodlust to get his point across. The pair leave and continue west towards the border amongst rice paddies. I wonder who he is, Mai says, her voice carrying a mix of apprehension and curiosity. We know they are a he, and powerful enough to scare people into not dealing with outsiders. Even though they want to, Naruto says, removing his mask but keeping his hood up and revealing a thoughtful expression. Do you think his power is the reason for the attacks? To keep everyone in line, Mai inquires, following Naruto's gaze across the sprawling fields. Possibly, but scaring people into submission. It's a coward's way of maintaining control, Naruto muses, and Mai nods in agreement. So we should leave this country quickly, Mai says, and Naruto nods. About 2 weeks later, they were in Land of Mountains, which is mountainous country, but nothing of note except a place called the Mountain Graveyard. Many tell them to avoid the place, as it is haunted as they pass through the country, fighting bandits or weak missing nin to grow Naruto's army and spread the name of Phantom. The next country they enter on their way to the Land of Earth is the Land of Canyons, having the shinobi village of Tekigakure. No Sato, but the village is the definition of a hidden village. The land itself is a maze of natural beauty and treacherous paths, with several attractions that lure in the curious and the brave. As they traverse the Land of Canyons, they cannot help but be drawn to the breathtaking views and the unique flora that can only be found in this part of the world. Their journey is punctuated by visits to these natural attractions, each one a brief respite in their relentless journey. These moments were fleeting and provide a necessary reminder of the world's beauty. While pausing at one of the mesmerizing viewpoints, Naruto and Mai find themselves alone. The late afternoon sun bathes the rugged landscape in warm hues, illuminating it in a breathtaking display of natural beauty. This place, it's incredible, isn't it? Mai says, her voice soft and filled with wonder. Yeah, it's like nothing I've ever seen. It reminds me of the whirlpools of Uzushio, Naruto says, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Mai turns to look at him with a gentle smile playing on her lips. Places like this are reminders that there's so much out there waiting to be discovered, she muses, her voice fading into a comfortable silence as stand shoulder to shoulder. The moment is peaceful, and a rare pause in their journey that's both soothing, but also invigorating. It's moments like these with you that make this journey worth it, Naruto finally says, his voice low and sincere. Mai nods and leans her head slightly against his shoulder, and Naruto wraps an arm around her to pull her close. As the sun dips lower in the sky, casting long shadows over the land, Naruto and Mai linger a bit longer, drinking in the view and the tranquility it offers, amidst its ancient, majestic beauty. Yuanenhan. Is that real? Mai says, as they were sitting in a cafe while rock rain is falling. They've been in Earth Country for a week and it has nothing but desolate or rocky areas. They passed over a very long mountain range to enter the country, after changing their appearance, with Mai having silver hair and blue eye contacts, while Naruto has dyed his hair black. Naruto slips a iwa mochi into his mouth, and the rice cake is very good. Seems so, he says after swallowing. He pauses for a moment to let the flavor linger, a small pleasure in their otherwise arduous journey.
How long are we staying in Earth Country? May asks, her gaze still fixed on the canyons that stretch out before them. The way the setting sun hit the rocks, painting them gold and crimson, made her almost forget the uncertainty that lay ahead.
We can stay a few months to train in such a terrain, Naruto replies. May drink some tea after having an iwa mochi with its sweetness, a contrast to the bitter tea. Are we heading for Wind Country? She asks, curiosity lacing her tone, but Naruto shakes his head. Unless you wish to go, Naruto says, but May shakes her head. I'm not fond of so much sand, May says, a small laugh escaping her. They pay for their meal and make their way towards Iwagakure, or a town near it, finding a mining town a month later in a valley called Lumen, and he sends a bird shadow soldier into the village itself. The mine is hiring, and Naruto decides to take job there while May finds one at a cafe, finding an extended stay-in for workers. Naruto looks through his hawk soldier and sees the village of Iwa is built among rocky mountain ranges that provides a natural stronghold. The village's infrastructure is built from much of the surrounding rock and stone, shaped into tower-like structures that are interconnected by a network of bridges. The Tsuchikage's residence seems to be the tallest structure with a cone-shaped roof, and bears the kanji for earth. When we'll try to infiltrate, May asks, unpacking her things. Tonight. Why wait? Best to get it done, and that way, you can begin your training. I'll even scout a place where you can train without prying eyes, Naruto says, sitting in a recliner. May smiles and comes sit in his lap to kiss his cheek with it in a simple gesture that speaks volumes. You treat me so well, she says, touching her forehead to his. The pair settle in while Naruto gets ready as 2 hours after sunset, uses shadow exchange and stealth to appear above the roof of the Tsuchikage building. It has roof access that allows Naruto uses his lock-picking kit to gain access, but leaving a clone to lock it back before dispelling. I wonder what kinds of Uton Jutsu Iwa has, Naruto thought. Search for the archive library. That blasted Son Goku is here. They may have some that mimic him. Plus, I believe Kokuo lives in the country with her host, Inari comments, with a note of caution and irritation. Can you connect with them, Naruto thought, slipping past an Iwa patrol. Not in this state, Isobu comments, a hint of regret lacing his words. Naruto silently clucks his tongue and moves to the second floor of the building. Here we are, he thought, finding the library on the first floor of the building and searches out the Jutsu section. He searches the Jutsu, and most are earth-based but exclusive to WoW itself. He finds a Uton section and begins inscribing, such as a Jutsu named Rakusaiha, which is similar to May's acidic mud. He then finds a lava geyser Jutsu, fissure vent eruption, volcanic mud dragon, before moving to find any Futton Jutsu. He finds a few like boiling mist geyser, but the others require the gobi. She has a few. It'll have to work, and we can experiment, Naruto thought, using shadow exchange to return to their inn. Did you find anything? May asks, her gaze fixed on him. I did. Mostly lava-based, Naruto says, and shows her the various jutsu he found.
It'll do, but unlike you, I can't make 1,000 clones, May says with a playful smirk, her tone teasing yet laced in a hint of envy for his vast chakra reserves.
I can inscribe a seal on your body to increase your reserves, Naruto comments, and May comes up to kiss his cheek. 6 months would pass with a singular routine for the 17-year-olds of working 4 or 5 days a week, with 2 off days of training, with 1 day of relaxation. The people of Lumen see the young couple as a constant in the town, with Naruto working hard in the mine, while May is a beautiful face in the cafe. Should be almost time for lunch, Makoto comments. Naruto is hammering away with pickaxe down a tunnel, his upper body sweating and soaking his tank top. The top of his jumpsuit is tied around his waist, and a hard hat on his head. Should be, he thought.
So, who are you? A voice suddenly interrupts his concentration. Naruto looked to see a young woman in her early 20s or around his age with black hair. Her pink eyes accented by her eyelashes and wearing the red IWA ninja uniform, indicating her origins.
Nenma miss, Naruto says, giving her an easygoing smile. Hirotsuchi, the young woman says and cocks her head slightly, her gaze studying him with a mix of curiosity and caution. Nenma, huh? You must be new, Hirotsuchi says. Naruto rubs the back of his neck and rubs his forehead with his towel, as Hirotsuchi continues to scrutinize him. A few months ago, he says. Hirotsuchi is about to ask him another question as another wa ninja runs up. Hirotsuchi! We found him, he says.
Stay here, worker, Hirotsuchi says, following the shinobi. Naruto waits for them to leave and covers his left eye to look through one of his hawks, seeing the town is under attack by a large group of missing nin and bandits.
Do you want to get involved? Brat Sabuza says from his shadow. I do, but I would rather not reveal my abilities, Naruto muses. I would agree. These Iwa ninja could reveal you to the Tsuchikage, Makoto says. Naruto continues to look through his hawk while flipping his pickaxe to catch the handle, but noises echo through the tunnel in the form of few bandits. We should load up on while the boss deals with the Tsuchikage's granddaughter, a voice says, rough and eager with the sound echoing off the narrow tunnel walls, as Naruto erases his presence. Another bandit chimes in with a hint of greed lacing his tone. Yeah, and I heard she's not to be underestimated. But with her out of the way, the old man will have no choice but to give in to our demands, he says. Are we really going to go through with this? What if we're caught? She's the Tsuchikage's granddaughter, the third says, seemingly younger and less assured. Silence envelops them for a moment while Naruto grips his pickaxe as he waits for the last to pass, and swings his pickaxe into his back. Bring out two of his daggers as the third screams to alert the other two, but he silences them with slices through the throats of both. Arise, Naruto says and brings the three back, sending his daggers back into his inventory. How many more, Naruto asks, and one raises 5 fingers. He turns towards the tunnel and weaves signs to Ram, Ninpo. Kirigakura no Jutsu, Naruto thought, and spews a thick mist from his mouth. The 5 bandits come down the tunnel but see the mist coming, Poison one says. Could be a second says, but his eyes widen as a pickaxe comes flying out to pierce his head. What the hell? The first says as the second crumbles, but a shot rings out to explode his head like a watermelon. Naruto emerges from the mist like a blur to cut through the remaining 3, raising the 5 and continuing towards the tunnel junction, but the scent of blood catches his nose. He reaches the junction and sees several bodies of people he has worked with the last few months. Oh yeah, another miner, a voice says, and sees a thin young man with spiky purple hair. His dark eyes show the scope of his murderous glee. Did you do this? Naruto says, and the young man grins with a psychotic look on his face, licking the long knife in his hand. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Will you entertain Ryuma? I want my new sword to drink some blood, the young man says, and Naruto sees a sword on his waist. It is katana with sleek black sheath, with intricate designs on the sheath of dragons in gold. New sword, Naruto says. Ryuma pats the sword on his waist with a smile. I killed this foolish samurai. You know he never used it, and it's made of Iron Country's chakra metal, he says. The hidden blonde knows iron is to the north of the land of canyons and borders, Earth, but is a country ruled by samurai. You killed all people to test your new sword, Naruto says. Ryuma points his knife. You killed all people to test your new sword, Naruto says. Ryuma points his knife with another lopsided grin. No. I killed these workers with this knife, but you... No. You will face my sword. You look strong, he says. Naruto's face is hidden in shadow but leaves one purple orb. You're right. I am, he says, using a rise on the fallen workers. Ryuma gasps as the shadows of those he killed were surrounding him, but a look of utter shock crosses his face when he realizes his knife does no damage to these avenging spirits. Get back! Ryuma shouts, but Naruto uses ruler's authority to raise their weapons to pierce Ryuma from all sides to incapacitate him. He falls to his knees as Naruto pulls the weapons out with ruler's authority and draws the sword from its sheath, giving the hidden blonde a better look as the hilt is wrapped in black and purple. The guard is round and etched with dragons in the sky. Kanji for the words sky, fire, and dragon were etched on the blade. This is a magnificent sword. Whoever forged it was a master by the looks of it. But it's wasted on you, Naruto says, swing his pickaxe into Raima's head and ending his murderous ways. He grabs the sheath and sheathes the sword to put it in his inventory, but his eyes drift to the workers. Rest easy. You've been avenged. Reiki, Monta. Yusuke and Mizuki, Naruto says, before releasing the 7 from his army. He heads for the surface and meets up with Iwa ninja who are coming to find Ryuma. Are you the only survivor? Kunoichi says, and Naruto nods. He quickly uses Shunshin to town where Kuratsuchi is with someone wrapped in what looks like thick ash. You survived, worker, Kuratsuchi says, her voice laced with a hint of surprise and something akin to admiration. I got lucky, Naruto says, but Kuratsuchi closes the gap between them. One of them was a skilled killer, Kuratsuchi questions, acknowledging the level of threat. Raima was. I have some shinobi training but was busted out because I was a civilian, Naruto says. Kuratsuchi tilts her head but pats his chest with back of her hand. Beat it, worker, she says, though the harshness of her words is slightly undercut by the intrigue in her gaze. Naruto leaves and quickly heads for the cafe Mei works at called Madoka, but sees a few bodies along the way. He finds Mei sitting with the owner, Nojiko, and wife of Kaita. Menma Mai says, and Nojiko sees him. Kaita. Nojiko says, hope lighting up her eyes momentarily before she catches the somber look in Naruto's, as he shakes his head sadly. A wail escapes Nojiko, a sound so filled with sorrow before Mei pulls her into a hug, a gesture that speaks volumes in the comfort it attempts to provide. Naruto sits down next to them and rubs Nojiko's shoulder. What happened? She whispers in Mai's chest.
I working down one of the tunnels while Keita and few others were at the junctions. I heard some talking and hid before seeing some bandits. I managed to deal with bandits and went to look for the others, but they had been killed by this Ryuma. They did some damage to him and I got the killing blow before he noticed me, Naruto explains. Nojiko doesn't say anything and leaves the young couple. She found out she was pregnant today, Mei says, shocking the hidden blonde.
I see. What happened up here? Naruto asks. Some missing nin were searching for someone named Kuratsuchi, Mai says, her voice tinged with worry for Nojiko. I met her and she's the granddaughter of the Tsuchikage, Naruto says. The day would end with 20 dead in week's end. The mine is closing temporarily but too long for the young couple to illumine. They head south towards wind but move east into grass country, a country rich with forests, and some consist of giant mushrooms or bamboo, also many rivers with deep ravines. They also see the battle scars of the Third Shinobi War like Kanabi Bridge, with stories of the Kiroi Senko destroying the bridge to sabotage Iwa supply lines. They stop in Kusagakura no Sato, and it is here that the young couple meet a member of one's clan. Grass fruit. Grass flower, Mei says, laying on the bed of their hotel room. My nen shadows infiltrated a few places, and it's the talk of a few places. Apparently Hozuki Castle contains some weapon. Grass fruit wants to use it and grass flower opposes it, Naruto says. Are you going to sneak in the prison? Mei asks, her voice laced with a mixture of concern and excitement. Naruto moves to the bed to straddle her and settles himself on her chest. No, but I found the story interesting, he says, feeling her heartbeat. His left hand moves to grope her left breast, and Mei sighs, with a mixture of frustration and affection evident in her breath. But rapid knocking breaks their immersion as Naruto sighs, moving off her to head for the door, but has Samurai Killer in his hand. What now? Mei says under her breath, sitting up fully now. Naruto opens to young woman having long red hair in an unusual hairstyle of short and spiky on the right side, while longer and straight on the left side with red eyes behind a pair of brown glasses. Please let me in, the girl says, her voice laced with desperation. Naruto lets her inside and closes the door before pointing Samurai Killer at her. Who are you? He says. I'm Karen Uzumaki, and you're the Shadow Monarch, the girl says, bowing deeply. How do you know that? Mei says, holding a senbon between her fingers and her stance ready for any threat. Karen looks back to Mei, and then to Naruto. I possess the Uzumaki clan's Kagura Shingen, and I can seize the honorable ancestor Ashborn overlapping your soul, Karen says, an earnest gleam in her eyes. Why did you come? Naruto says, sending Samurai Killer into his inventory, and offers her a chair. Karen collects her thoughts for a few moments and clears her throat. My mother Kikyo told me stories about the Shadow Monarchs of our clan. Select Uzumaki blessed by our honorable ancestor. The last she spoke of was Kushina Uzumaki, she starts. Why didn't you come to Konoha? Kushina Uzumaki was there, Naruto asks, curiosity mixed with a slight edge of confusion in his tone. My parents were attacked by masked ninja with no emotion. My mother and I managed to escape, but my father didn't. We came to Kusa, but it is here where our slavery began, Karen replies. Her voice trembled slightly with the weight of her past visible in her eyes. Slavery, Mei says, her voice steady, but tinged with horror, and Karen nods. My mother possessed our clan's heel bite, and those in power here in Kusa, Karen says, and her eyes flicker. They used her to death, she whispers, tears running down her cheeks, and tracing lines of untold grief, but also resilience on her face. Naruto approaches and gives her cloth to wipe her eyes. Are they doing the same to you? He says, seeing a bite mark on her right arm. Yes. I attended their academy but was moved to become an apothecary, not a kunoichi, Karen replies. Regaining her composure. Why did you come to find him? Mei says. Karen adjusts her glasses with look into Naruto's blue eyes. I know this is a lot to ask, but please take me away from this place. I don't want to die like my mother, she says. The vulnerability in her request is palpable, resonating through the silence that falls upon them. Mei looks to Naruto and then to Karen. You must have... Minders, Mei says, her voice a mixture of curiosity and concern. Yes? Zosui is a Jonin. Midori and Shiba are Chunin, Karen says. Naruto sighs and runs his fingers through his still black hair. Can you leave at this moment? He asks, his tone serious yet not devoid of compassion. Yes, Karen says, her eagerness to escape her current predicament clear in her swift response. Then you'll come with us. We'll be heading south through Rain Country, and from there to the land of rivers, Naruto says, and Karen nods. Are you sure? Mikoto says. I am. She's family, Naruto thought, and Mikoto smiles. The young couple pack their things and check out of their hotel, +1 to leave Kusagakure, but they have pursuers. Hand over Kusa's property, a voice says, its tone-chilling voice sliced through the tense air. The three halt on a road heading south and Karen visibly freezes at the sight of Zosui emerging into view from the barely lit morning mist, while Midori and Shiba appear behind them. The sudden encirclement feels like a vice tightening around her hopes of escape, her fleeting dreams of freedom waning under the scrutinizing gaze of their pursuers. Property? Naruto says, his hood obscuring his masked face. She belongs to Kusa, Zosui says, in a very cold and indifferent manner. She doesn't belong to anyone, Mei says, stepping forward with a mixture of anger and determination in her eyes. The assertiveness in her voice belied her youth, painting her as the protector within this trio.
That's a bit naive, girly. That girl serves a function for Kusa, Midori says with a smirk, his voice carrying the weight of arrogance and unwavering loyalty to his village. His stance is casual yet threatening but suggests he is no stranger to enforcing such claims.
Which she will no longer do, Naruto says, his tone firm. Who are you to say that? Shiba says, his gaze drilling into Naruto's. Naruto reaches for his hood to pull it down and reveal his mask. You can call Phantom, or maybe Shadow. But then again, you'll never tell anyone, he says. Zosui draws the sword from his hip with a blank look on his face. You will return Kusa's property, and you both will be made to serve as well, he says. Naruto's shadow-like aura begins to spread out as his eyes glow purple behind his mask. Arise, he says, his voice calm yet carrying an undercurrent of power. Karen watches in awe as Makoto, Zabuza, Inari, Yagura, Isobu, Winter and Spot rise from Naruto's shadow, with each figure emerging while their presence commands attention. What the hell? Midori says, disbelief painting his features as he takes a step back with his eyes wide and tries to comprehend the scene unfolding before him. Nah, but you'll be heading there, Zabuza says, catching Zebimaru from Naruto. Karen watches mesmerized as Inari shears off Zosui's head, a display of efficiency and skill that leaves no room for hesitation or doubt. Zabuza, with a display of raw power and a grim determination, tears apart Midori with Zebimaru as his actions as fluid as they are deadly. Spot cuts Shiba in half as the action is so swift, it's almost poetic, a deadly dance that leaves no room for mercy. The scene is a tableau of power, loyalty, and a grim understanding of what must be done. Arise, Naruto says, and their shadow variants rise. Hands behind your back and bow your heads to the ground. He orders, and all three do so. Karen looks over the three shadows and glances to Naruto as he removes his mask. Thank you, she says. We should get going, Makoto says, having the newbies moving their old bodies. The three stop in a town to buy Karen supplies for the trip, but also making plans to train her in several skills learned from Zabuza and Amiyuri. They test her affinities to learn she has Doton and Suton affinities, which allows them to further teach her several jutsu. They skirt the edges of Rain Country and see further battle scars of many shinobi wars, many speaking ill of the great nations, and their god will smite them before they reach the land of rivers. Yenenhan. You think it is accurate? Naruto says, his voice breaking the silence. Mei is sitting across from him in a cottage they found in the woods, while Karen is outside training. It could be. Raiga had a nasty habit of burying people alive, Mei says, her voice low but carrying a weight of understanding and fear for what that meant for their quest. It has been a month since they arrived in River Country and get their first bit of evidence of finding Raiga. We can't take Karen with us, Naruto says, his voice firm but tinged with an underlying current of concern. The thought of bringing Karen into a potentially deadly confrontation with Raiga unsettles him. The distant sound of movement indicates Karen is still training outside, pushing her limits and honing her skills, unaware of the discussion taking place inside the cottage. We can't leave her here either. Her skills can be valuable, Mei says, but sees the bigger picture and the role Karen could play in their pursuit. Naruto sighs with ruffle of his hidden blonde hair. She'll have Zabuza attached to her, he says, and Mei nods. The pair head outside and speak to Karen about their plan to chase a rumor concerning someone they knew and promised to take down. The three pack up their things and erase their presence before heading for the Katabami gold mine, which is about a week's travel from their location. Raiga Kurasuki, Karen says, while they were on the road. He was student of my sensei Amiyuri Ringo, and one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, Mei says, her voice laced with a mix of respect and disdain.